Ladies and gentlemen, Norman Sex Paulding, radio broadcaster. What do you think of the United States' position of ally to Israel and Egypt both? Is that possible? Well, it's like being allied to... Old Israel was allied to Egypt and Babylon, both, at one time. Israel, after they came out of bondage with Egypt, with a Passover that they were still celebrating, was allied. Can Israel always celebrate a Passover with Egypt and be their ally? Huh? The way Israel left Egypt, can it ever ally Egypt? Can they make up? Can they both now blame it on Pharaoh? It was all Pharaoh's fault. Is that right? Did Israel play any part in the occasion to have a Passover and leave Egypt? Did it? Is that relevant in history today when they still celebrate that occasion as a sacred event in their existence and stake out property in Palestine against the will of a hell of a lot of people and say to the day that it's okay for them to build more settlements? Can they? And Egypt still just sit there, their ally? Is there something always going to cause a hell of a lot of anger there with that kind of thinking? Is there? And is there a reason for that anger? Well, as the king of the Jews, it does concern me. I'll tell you that. I have to live with myself. I have to face my Maker in prayer. I have to concern myself with that and say there's an afterlife. I have to face my Maker. I'm responsible to that issue and say something. Exile in the United States. With more passion than anyone living about the subject. Long past death and life, both. Built my DNA. I hate it. Don't you? Because this is going to stay in a truthful position and get discussed from that angle and none other. Truthful meaning the accurate recalling of the sequence of events that have led to everything you're discussing today, and with whom, and why. As far as I'm concerned, this nation has no business there in your position. No, they don't. No one here knows enough about that, actually, to get their nose involved, even if you trace the history. Especially if you trace the history of the place, you're not going to take the position that Mrs. Clinton is taking as an individual, let alone as a representative of this nation. You know what, Old Glory's already pledged things that I will never make a pimple on their butt. And I'll tell you, there are people walking around representing Old Glory in ways I'll ask you, I'll tell you. You have to face the truth someday. I'll be there. I have a lot of respect for Mrs. Clinton, only I'll tell you, she's got her neck out like a giraffe when it comes to facing the truth. Doesn't everybody in official positions on this planet right now? When it comes to face the truth and what you're saying? Now, I understand how you can't. I do. Well, will the truth understand that? When the truth reminds you of all the ways you could have said something else, what's the truth going to say when you claim, like right now, I'm doing the best I can? Oh, really? I want to be there when you tell the truth that. Everybody has to face the truth someday. I'm the biggest hypocrite in all that. I'm dumb enough to think the truth laughs at me. We'll find out. Because if the truth has given me the position that it says it has, I'm a salt shaker for that day for each one of you. Because I am brine with the truth. I mean the truth, I'm a flake of salt. That's the truth. Only I have a lot of affection for the truth, and the truth knows it. I'm a flake of salt with a lot of affection for the truth. Envious of it. Can't do it. And like a doggy at the back door, I tremble. Envious of the truth and can't. And the truth knows my intent more than you'll ever know it. And it told me things about my intent that only the truth could know, and I live with that. It gives me a Dutch rub. It says, wait till I get my hands on you. And when you get your hands on me, it'll be different. It'll be like it always was. Boy. And I remember the truth and I at one time, even though I am quite salty now, were quite close and very affectionate. So now I can't get close to the truth. I'm very upset about it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've been employed most of my life, and all I've done is fake it to get an answer on a test. That's all I know. I'm very sorry.